I saw forever in someone who didn't even see tomorrow with me. I loved the idea of them more than the truth of them. My heart wasn't wrong, just handed to the wrong hands. I begged the stars for a sign. They sent silence. I mistook chaos for passion. That's on me. You weren't love. You were a lesson I romanticized. I watered someone who was never rooted in me. You touched me, then tore me apart. I was loyal to your potential, not your reality. I held on while they let go quietly. I was writing poetry, they were erasing me. The one I trusted most taught me not to. I fell in love with a mask, not the soul behind it. You were never mine. You were just my distraction from healing. They gave me butterflies, then crushed them. I mistook manipulation for mystery. I thought it was fate. It was just a detour. I gave them peace. They gave me pieces. You didn't ruin love for me. You reminded me to protect it. I was addicted to the version of you that never existed. I loved you like you were sacred. You treated me like I was spare. My loyalty became my self-destruction. The red flags looked like roses when I was lonely. I stayed too long in a heart that was never open. They kissed me like they cared, then ghosted like they never did. I gave them light. They lived in shadows. I should have left the first time I felt unseen. You apologized with your mouth, but never with your behavior. I held the door open. They slammed it behind me. You broke me gently. That hurt more. I missed the signs because I wanted the story. You said forever. You meant convenience. I called it chemistry. The universe called it a warning. I stayed hoping they'd change. They stayed knowing they wouldn't. You mirrored my wounds, not my worth. I was the storm they blamed for their lightning. You felt like home until you didn't. I mistook being needed for being loved. I confused comfort with connection. You weren't bad. You were just wrong for my soul. I chose someone who couldn't choose me. I wanted healing. They wanted hiding. I made excuses for their absence. I gave my all to someone who was empty. I became silent so they could feel loud. I mistook tension for depth. They never lied. I just heard what I wanted. I fought for us while they flirted with exits. You touched my body, but not my soul. I broke my own heart by trusting yours. You made me doubt what real love even feels like. I was patient with someone who had already walked away. I said, I love you. They said, thank you. I dreamed of a life with someone who wasn't dreaming of me. I let them in, and they left wreckage. I clung to the beginning and ignored the middle. They didn't lie. Their actions just screamed louder. I tried to heal in the place that hurt me. I gave them heaven. They gave me confusion. I saw God in them. Turns out it was a mirror. They weren't a mistake. They were my awakening. I got addicted to proving my worth. I tried to make a soulmate out of a shadow. I called it love, but it felt like survival. They were my heartbreak dressed as hope. I ignored my intuition for a fantasy. I loved loudly. They listened quietly. I gave more than they were ever ready to receive. I begged the universe to make it work. It was silent. I was healing. They were hiding. I burned for someone who wouldn't even light a match. You weren't a villain. You were a mirror of what I still had to heal. I mistook their chaos for connection. I stayed hoping for growth. They stayed stagnant. They loved the way I made them feel, never the person I was. I thought they were a chapter. They were just a comma. I let them break me because I thought that was love. I was loyal to a fantasy they never tried to live up to. I chose them. The universe had to unchoose them for me. I left pieces of me in someone who didn't know how to hold them. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more.